Welcome back. Another Game Maker how-to. Make enemies or monsters move randomly, but towards the player. So not directly towards the player, but sort of randomly towards the player. So here we go. Let's go to one of our monsters here that are already in the room, and let's just set this up. I'm going to do this with alarms. You could do it with a counter, but alarms will be a little bit faster. So let's go to the create event. And in the create event, I'm going to turn on an alarm. Now, just to start out here, I'll turn this alarm on to do it something like every 2 seconds, right? So 60 steps. I'll make the ghost decide to choose a new direction. When that alarm fires, so alarm 0 goes off, let's make the ghost actually move towards the player. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a little variable called new direction. And what I want to do with this new direction variable is calculate, well, what would be sort of close to the player. Now, you may have seen this in some of the other videos. Gamemaker has a method called point direction. For point direction to work, you just give it one XY coordinate and then a second XY coordinate. And it'll calculate the angle for you to go from the first one to the second one. So what I want to do here is I have the monster running this code. So the monster's X, the monster's Y, and then I want to go towards the player's X and the player's Y. So just let me make that a little bigger for you so you can actually see all the code. Now this is going to be an angle, right? So from this point to that point. Now all I want to do, since I am coding in the ghost here, is I'll just maybe keep their speed the same. I'll just keep a little speed of 2. And I'll set the ghost's direction to new direction. And that's really it. Let's not forget, actually, one more thing. Let's turn the alarm back on again and say another 2 seconds later, the alarm will fire again and recalculate the direction in case the player's moved. Now, you know what? I'm going to put that a little slower just for testing here. So let's see what this does, and then we'll modify a tiny bit. So the alarm goes off. Let's move up here. They're going to readjust 2 seconds later. Now you can see they're moving exactly towards me. Now that's not, like the title suggests, random movement towards player. That is moving towards the player. We'll add that tiny bit of randomness in a second. But you'll see it works quite nicely. So let's add 2 little things to make this a little bit better. So to avoid this, because you can see the way that works is the ghosts with this code will start to clump up. Okay, here's the randomness here. This direction I calculated is exactly towards the player. So what you can always do is you can do a trick we've done in another video called fire close to player, is we can add a little bit of randomness to it. So let's do -10. Let's make this better. -20 to 20. So this is just going to pick a number, tag it on. So if this direction was an angle like 60, now the angle could be plus -20, so it could be as low as 40, or you could be adding 20, so it could go up as high as 80. So you're going to get a nice range of numbers there so that the ghosts aren't going exactly towards the player. The other thing that's nice to do here is right in here is not to make that exactly every 2 seconds. Let's do something like this. We make it 60 to 150. Much more of a time spread on the alarm. So that way the alarm goes off at random intervals for all the different ghosts, so it doesn't look too pre-programmed. Let's see the effects. So when they eventually all decide on their own, right? They're all at different times now. And you can see some decide to change at different times. And this will also avoid the overlap problem because they're not all trying to go exactly towards me, right? There's that bit of randomness in the angle that I created. So hopefully that helps get you started on making things move randomly, but putting a little bit of pressure onto the player, right? Always nice in a game. Thanks for watching.